Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the June 8th formal County Commission meeting. I'm going to call on our Sheriff Fuson, to call our meeting to order. If you would, please remain standing for the pledge by Commissioner Garland Johnson and the invocation by Commissioner Joe Creek.
All rise. Oh yes, this Honorable Board of County Commissioners is now in session pursuant to adjournment. Now may God save this state and this Honorable Board of County Commissioners.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for your love and your watch care. We thank you for our legislative body and their willingness to serve. Just guide and direct us now tonight as we make decisions. We pray for our country because we need your healing hand to get things back to the way they should be. It says in the Bible, in Psalms 18, verse 1 and 2, I will love thee, O Lord, with all my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I shall trust. Amen.
Amen. Commissioners, because we're doing our meeting kind of a little bit in person, a little bit by WebEx, the reason we're doing it WebEx, we have 3 commissioners that either for health reasons or the health reason of a loved one aren't here tonight. We will next, just so everybody will know, in July, unless something changes, we will meet here. More than likely, it'll be open to the public, again, unless something changes. So tonight, as we go through our votes, I will call on Ms. Jackson to register the vote of the 3 members that'll be voting by WebEx. She'll do that in district order. And then, commissioners, I'll ask you to register your vote. So I would encourage you not to vote until I've asked you to register your vote. And so, Ms. Jackson, would you please call the roll of those joining us by WebEx?
Commissioner Hodges?
Commissioner Hodges?
Commissioner Butts? And Commissioner Chandler?
Commissioners, if the rest of y'all would please register your attendance. Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the roll?
You have 20 present and 1 absent.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, we have no presentations. We do have 2 zoning cases. The first case is CZ8 2020, application of Donner and Roger Wallace from AG to R1. Commissioners, I will bring to your attention again in your Dropbox on pages 30 through 36 are the public comments. And as you recall, we did have some public comments via WebEx at our meeting the other night. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Knight, second. Commissioner Bryant, any discussion on CZ8 2020? Commissioner Gannon.
Just really quick. I know we've been working on buying a piece of property, school property down Rossview Road, and we also did the resolution for the state to fix that road once the school property is bought. Can you expound on that for us, please?
Yes, sir. I think it was about 3 months ago, we passed a resolution anticipation of that school complex being built out there to ask the state to improve that road. There's a process you have to go through the Planning Commission, or really through the MPO. All of that has been put in place. We have now asked we're about to enter into contract with the state. That calls for us to provide the engineering, the right-of-way and engineering on that project. And of course, it's got to be designed and that type of stuff. And so, yes, that that process is moving forward. And I think you asked me how far it was. Did you ask me that?
Yes.
It's about a mile on out Rossview Road. This piece of property that is before you tonight is about a mile closer into town than the school site. Commissioner Garland Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I know that several other commissioners received the email from Mr. Wallace. And Mr. Wallace has some very, very good points. However, I cannot say that I believe that this idea is very good. We have a lot of issues with that area as it is. The developer has said that he would be willing to do a road study in order to try to allay some of the fears that we may have as to what that development would do to the area. However, with the road improvements that are going in and with the school going in down the road, you really would be doing an analysis of a road that wouldn't exist anymore. All of that will change. The entire area, many of the neighborhoods out there, and almost the entirety of Rossview Road, I have received emails, calls, text messages in opposition to this zoning change. I have received messages in opposition as far away as McGregor Road, which is almost at the Robertson County line. It just seems to be that this, even if we could fix some of the issues that we know will be prevalent in the next couple of years, there are still some issues that would be lingering afterwards. Honestly, and we just received notice that there may be a historical site somewhere near the property. That would have to be looked into. The developer says that they won't do anything on the property for a year or so. But if I was to count every time that we heard that from a developer, and then 3 months after the resolution, after the zoning went through, there were bulldozers on the site, I would run out of fingers and toes. I think that it would be irresponsible of us to vote to approve this simply on the hope that it will be 2 years before they get around to doing anything, and on the hope that the road improvements won't affect it, in the hope that the schools out there won't affect it, in the hope that we won't outgrow those schools that we are building before we get them built. As much as it bothers me to listen to the pleadings of Mr. Wallace and go in the opposite direction, I have to. Thank you.
Any other comments regarding CZ 8 2020? Commissioner Harper?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick comment. Like many of you, I'm a big fan of property rights, typically vote with property rights. In this case, I can't ignore the situation that we have on Rossview Road. I think the proactive thing for us, a no vote on this zoning, all that it does is delays this property zoning for about 12 months because they can come back in 12 months and ask for it again. And I think we need to give some breathing room, some space out there on Rossview Road to do that very thing. So I'd ask you to vote no on this. Thank you.
Commissioner Leverett?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to know, according to TDOT and the Improve Act, do we actually have a timeline on when this will actually take place? I've looked up and I didn't even see the project on their website when I was going under the Improve Act.
That project was not part of the Improve Act.
Okay.
Through a couple of meetings with TDOT, we have approached them. They understand, I guess they understand our concerns with the school complex going out there, and I think that I've said from the beginning when that site was chosen that I don't want to be a part of building another complex out there and creating another Rossview Road that we have right now today. at the existing Rossview campus. And so I'm committed to doing everything I can with the state to make sure that we get some state funding for this. I'm confident that we will, but I don't have a timeline. They're doing something, it's not called an advanced planning report anymore. It's some other, it's got some other kind of name. And so once that's done, there'll be an estimate put in place, and then you can start the environmental and the engineering design. A project like that's probably going to take 8 or 9 months for that to happen right away. Depending on the alignment, could be another 8 months or so. But my goal all along has been when the high school opens out there to try to have that road built. Because when we open the high school out there, it changes everything. The middle school will bring additional traffic, but the high school will bring a lot of additional traffic.
Okay. So to me, it looks like there's nothing even documented from TDOT that this ball is going to get rolling anytime soon.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's documented with TDOT in my office
Okay.
through the resolution that we passed.
Okay. But nothing, because I'm just trying to research it, and I see nothing on their website that says that, this is an even upcoming project, and the timeline. That's what I was looking for.
Well, and you're probably not going to find anything on TDOT's website about it, because TDOT does a lot of projects that aren't necessarily part of the Improve Act. They have some discretionary funds. We have met with all of our legislative representatives in Nashville with TDOT. And again, I'm very confident that we're going to get TDOT funds to do it. I can't tell you when that would go on their website, if it ever would, to be honest.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions regarding CZ 8 2020? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx for their vote?
Commissioner Hodges? I'm sorry, did he say no? I didn't understand him. I'm sorry, Commissioner Hodges, can you repeat that, please? Commissioner Butts? No. Commissioner Chandler?
No.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. I guess that's everybody in it. One's missing.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 9 yeses, 10 noes, 1 abstention.
All right. CZ 8 2020 fails. Next on our agenda is AB 1 2020, approving the vacation of a portion of Butts Drive. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Pritchard, second. Commissioner Riccone, any discussion on AB 1 2020? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx for their vote?
Commissioner Hodges?
My vote is yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on our agenda is our consent agenda. All items in this portion of the agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the County Commission and may be approved by one motion. However, a member of the County Commission may request that an item be removed for separate consideration. On our consent agenda is Resolution 26-1, resolution to accept Office of Domestic Preparedness State Homeland Security Grant Program 34-101-18820 and to appropriate funds. Resolution 26-2, resolution of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners appropriating funds for the construction of a 12-classroom addition at Oakland Elementary School. Resolution 26-3, resolution of Montgomery County Board of Commissioners appropriating funds for the construction of a 12-classroom addition at West Creek Elementary School. Resolution 26-5, resolution requesting funds in the amount of $2,079,099 from the state of Tennessee for the Governor's Local Government Support Grant. Resolution 26-9, resolution requesting a study by the Montgomery County Regional Planning Commission to recommend modification of the M2 zoning for proposed Montgomery County zoning resolution for the purpose for use permit on review for outdoor suppressed and unsuppressed quality assurance testing applications in the M2 zone. Adoption of the commission meeting minutes dated May 11, 2020. Adoption of the county clerk's report and notary list. Adoption of the nominating committee nominations, and adoption of county mayor nominations and appointments. Commissioners, would anyone like for any item to be removed from the consent agenda? Commissioner Gannon.
It's not for removal, Mayor, but on 26-5, there's a misprint. Did you say, you said 79? 2,097,000. Never
I
mind.
just read it wrong.
Okay, I
It's
thought the verbiage.
It's $2,097,099. I read it wrong. I missed the 90. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions on the consent agenda? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those attending via WebEx for their vote?
I'm sorry, Mayor, I need a motion and second, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would work, wouldn't it? Is there a motion for approval, Commissioner Harper? Second, Commissioner Ray, on the consent agenda. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Jackson, now if you'd please call on those via WebEx.
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 26-4 is a resolution of Montgomery County Board of Commissioners approving amendments to the 2019-20 school budget. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Pritchard, second. Commissioner Knight, any discussion? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 26-6, a resolution to amend the budgets of various funds for fiscal year 2020 in certain areas of revenues and expenditures. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Tangi Smith, second. Commissioner Gannon, any discussion? Commissioner Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to amend the resolution of 26-6. I would like to make the following amendment to add an additional $250,000 to account 101-54-210-00000-54-53400. Medical and dental services. After the most recent CAP report, we believe we will need additional funding on top of the current $2 million we have for the cleanup and to cover these costs. And also to add $125,000 to account 266-51920-00000-51-53400 medical and dental services to cover the recent OJI expenses that have been incurred by risk management and to cover the additional costs we may have through the end of the fiscal year.
Is there a second to that amendment? Commissioner Riccone, any discussion on the amendment? Seeing no discussion, Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those voting via WebEx, voting on the amendment?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
Mr. Creek, could you register your vote, please, sir? Mr. Creek?
Oh, Mr. Creek, I'm sorry, I missed that one at the bottom. I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson, would you now tally the vote, please?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for keeping me in line. Resolution 26-7 is a resolution to levy a tax rate in Montgomery County, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Beal, is there a second? Commissioner Pritchard, any discussion on 26-7?
Commissioner,
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I've got to go back and vote on 26-6 as amended. Thank y'all for your motions and your seconds. So now we are voting on 26-6 as amended. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Beal, second. Commissioner Creek. Any discussion on 26-6 as amended? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Now on to 26-7, resolution to levy a tax rate in Montgomery County, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Bryant, second. Commissioner Pritchard. Any discussion on 26-7? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, would you please register your vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 26-8 is a resolution making appropriations for the various funds, departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of Montgomery County, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30, 2021, and approving the funding of nonprofit charitable organizations in accordance with TCA 59109. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Knight, second. Commissioner Gannon, any discussion? Commissioner Riccone.
Mayor, I'd like to make the following amendment. I would like to make the amendment to Resolution 20-6-8, remove the 3.46 increase in salaries for all elected officials. This will result in a decrease in the budgeted amount for the following accounts: 101-52400-00000, -52-51050. County official admin officer will be decreased by $3,804. Item 101-54110-00000, -52-51050. County official admin officer will be decreased by $4,445. I make that in the form of a resolution.
Is there a second?
Amendment.
Commissioner Beal or Commissioner Beal? Any discussion on the amendment? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Commissioner Harper, do you want to change your vote?
I have a question, Mayor. There was another amendment.
Yeah, it'll have to be offered as another amendment. We've already voted on this one.
Okay, that's my question. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another
I knew
amendment on
there
it.
was three. Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. We are now voting on Resolution 26-8 as amended. Yeah. Yeah. Commissioner Harper.
I'd like to make an amendment on 20-6-8. This amendment would be to the Tourist Commission fiscal year 21 budget, and we would remove any bonuses from the CVB budget to be paid to the executive director. This will reduce their budget by $13,797.77.
Is there a second? Commissioner Gannon. Any discussion on the amendment? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx on amendment number 2?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 nos, 1 abstention.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, without seeing any objection, I'm sorry, we now have to go back to 26-8 to vote on 26-8 as amended. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Gannon, second. Commissioner Riccone. Any discussion on 26-8 as amended with those two amendments? If you would, please call on those, ma'am.
Commissioner Hodges? Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, without objection from the floor, we'll suspend our rules and hear Resolution 2610. Is there any objection to suspension of the rules? Seeing or hearing none, Resolution 2610 is a resolution to accept and appropriate funds from the Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice Assistance, fiscal year 2020 Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Program in the unappropriated fund balance. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Bryant, is there a second? Commissioner Keene, any discussion? Ms. Jackson, would you please call on those via WebEx?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstention.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, under reports filed, if you'll see report number 5, the Highway Department road list, we actually got that after we put our consent agenda together, and so that item's not on the consent agenda, and it will require commission approval. I think y'all have that loaded in the system. Is there a motion for approval for the Highway Department list? Commissioner Johnson, second. Commissioner Tangi Smith, any discussion? Would you please call on those via WebEx, Ms. Jackson?
Commissioner Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Butts?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
Commissioners, if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, under our announcements, if you have any suggested items for the 2021 legislative agenda, please email them to Michelle Newell or Melissa Smith. Their email addresses, are listed in your agenda. Just a reminder that the ribbon cutting for Fredonia Park Community Center is scheduled for Wednesday, June 10th at 4 p.m. You're all invited to attend. That's this Wednesday. We will be practicing social distancing. Masks will be available for those who would like to wear them. And with a sad heart, but an understanding heart, because it's selfish to be sad about it, Circuit Court Clerk Cheryl Castle has announced her intentions to retire from Montgomery County government on August 15, 2020. Cheryl has been a servant of Montgomery County for over 39 years, and hopefully in August we can do a little something special for us, but we need to announce that to the commissioners tonight. And then you're invited to attend a ribbon cutting for the new VSO offices on Monday, July the 6th at 11 o'clock at Veterans Plaza. Commissioners, we have no further business. I'll call on our sheriff, Chef Fuson. Would you adjourn us, please?
Yes, sir. All rise. Oh, yes, this honorable Board of County Commissioners now stands adjourned. Now may God save this state and this honorable Board of County Commissioners.